Good morning, everyone. We are starting subject object-oriented software engineering. Your first chapter is object-oriented concepts and principles. Okay. Am I audible to everyone? Am I audible to everyone? Okay. So we are starting with object, object-oriented concept. As you learn about object-oriented programming, nowadays everything is digitalized. So wherever the things automation or, or the world is going towards digitalization, so everything is in software. So the complexity and the size of that software is very large, or the size or complexity of that software is increasing day by day. So we need some conventional approach for implementing or for designing that software so that get the we can get that product or that software is within less size or quality software. For that we have to use some conventional approaches like some object oriented concepts. So we have to simplify that product to get that high quality maintainable software. So that we have to use some conventional approaches or we have to use some processes. So as you know that we are, if you are software engineer, then you have to, when we are going to develop that software, it will take some months or some days or some few years. For developing that software we have to maintain that software. Okay, so for maintainable software it may reduce the maintenance cost so that we can get high quality software. Okay, so next one is, what is software engineering? So that software engineering, both are two words. First one is software and another one is engineering. So what about engineering? As you know about software, I will tell you what is software later on. Then first we will see what is engineering. That engineering forces us to focus on systematic, scientific and well-defined processes to produce a good quality product. So what is good quality product? That good quality product contains the way that we are how we are developing that product so that we can get the quality product or good quality product. So we are engineer that product. For that we are going to use some systematic processes, some scientific methods or some well-defined processes to produce that good quality software. That is, we are engineered some product or some software. So what is software? Software is a collection of some programs, some documents. You will know about software later on. That what is software? First you learn what is engineering, how we are going to engineer that software, how we are going to develop that software. For that we are using some systematic approach, some scientific methods like algorithms, some processes, some patterns to get a quality software or quality product. Next one is, what is program and what is software? So program versus software. So what is program? Program is nothing but it is a set of instructions written for a specific purpose. Whenever you are going to write some program or you are implementing some programs, you are writing some specific codes to get some specific output. For example, if you want to display hello world, so you are going to write some instructions in some, for example, in C language, you are writing some code so that you are printing hello message or hello world message. That is your program. And what is actual software? That software is a combination of programs, documentations, or some methods, some manuals. That software contains at the end level or at the customer level or at the user level. At the user end, that software contains all the documents, all the diagrams, documentation part, user manual, executable files, programs. The collection of overall these things is called as software. Okay, the next one is, what is object orientation? As you know that What is object? Object is like you can say person, the thing that which is visible to us, that is object. Whenever we are going to say a person having some attributes like names, address, some specific information about that object. So we feel that the real strength of object is we are modeling to represent the real world. Whenever we are going to say some object, you cannot understand by saying object. Whenever we are going to display a thing, that is called as object. For example, if we are saying about, like take example about table, by name you cannot understand what is actual table it is, the features of the table, for example. Okay, so whenever we are going to display some object model, then you will get where you will get information about that model. So what about what happen in industry? Whenever customer gives requirements to developer or business person, so after getting the requirements from the customer, that what architectures does, it will design a model or it will design an object to based on that requirements of that customer. Okay, so that that end user or the remaining persons, for example other members, will understand what is actual the user wants. Based on that object, architecture will demonstrate the conceptual construction for that object. Okay, so next one is, see here, consider the example. Object contains the data. For example, a person is an object, the person having some data. For that data we are using some methods. Okay, then object is having some data. For displaying the data we are using some methods. So what is inheritance here? We are taking some features or taking some attributes from that, or we are deriving the some features to new one. For the child object contains the features about the master one. Okay, so next one, what is classes and objects? As you learn about class and objects, so consider here example about books. Book is a one class. That book contains the number of types of books. Book is one class. That class is having some attributes or some methods. So consider book is a class. That book is having some attributes or some objects or some methods. Book is having some name, category, ISN number, author name. Okay, published date. There are a lot of attributes about book. So there is a category or there is class of book. Consider a book as a class. Okay, so all objects. So you know about objects. So whenever we are going to create a class, we have to create the object of that class. Okay, so that class describes the structure of the instance, which include behavior and information. What this class does, class will show some, class contains the behavior or the structural information about that class. Consider the example about mango is the class. So mango is having some attributes, or fruit. Consider fruit as a class. Fruit contains there are multiple types of fruits. So there is a lot of information in that class. Suppose class fruit, then the types of fruits, and we are going to use some methods to access that member of that class. So next one is a set of objects with similar behavior and information may constitute a class. So class contains the similar set of objects with that class. Okay, what object? So what object has a state? So state means here information. Object will give information about that class. Okay, we are going to access that data about class using objects. Next one. So what class represents? Class represents a template for several objects and describes how these objects are structured internally. So whenever we are going to assign design, or we can say whenever we are going to create a class, we have to create an object of that class. So we are going to access the data of that class using objects. Okay, so there are several attributes or data values. There are several attributes or data values held by the object of that class. So whenever we are going to call that information by using objects, we have to use some methods. Okay, so here you can see the example. Here see everybody is the screen is visible to everyone. Okay, so here you can see book. Book is the class name. There are several attributes of that class or several methods of that class. Here book is class. The attribute of that class is access number, then subject descriptor, ISBN number, book title, language, author first name, last name, and publisher. Here you can see the types of that attribute. Book is having some attribute. Book is the class name. Then there are several attributes or several methods: add book, delete book, update book. Okay, this is the example of class and the implementation of class. Okay, so there are several object oriented methods or features of object oriented programming in software engineering. So first one is encapsulation. Everybody knows about encapsulation. Somebody is called that encapsulation is also known as information hiding. Multiple people calls us encapsulation means information hiding. What is the actual information hiding is, so we are going to hide or we are going to combine all the data and operation into a single unit. So whenever we are going to access the data, we have to use some operations to access that data. Without any operations or methods, we cannot access that data, because the data and operations are combined into a single unit. That is encapsulation, means we are going to hide that information. Okay, so that is we are hiding that information so that we cannot, the data is not available to external world. External world is, data is not visible to external people. So we are, consider the example of medicine. Medicine is encapsulated in a wrapper. So we are going to see only a tablet. So we don't know about what are the content of that tablet or what is the formula used for that implementing that tablet. Okay, this is the best example for encapsulation. So next one, see the example of, or see the diagram here. Inside the circle, this is the data, or the data or that information, data or information or that data is encapsulated or wrapped between the methods. So whenever we are going to access that data, we have to use these methods to access that data. Okay, that is encapsulation. Next one, next attribute of, or we can say next priority of object oriented programming is inheritance. This is the next feature. Okay, what is inheritance? Inheritance means acquiring the properties of parent class into child class, deriving new class from old one, or deriving child class from parent class. Okay, here you can see the example of inheritance. Here we are going to organize, or we are going to organize that knowledge in terms of hierarchy of categories. Okay, so all classes inherits information from upper classes. So when we are going to derive a new class from old one, that derived class contains some contents of parent class. Okay, so that parent class is also called as main class. Parent class or subclasses are known as derived classes. Okay, so the class we are going to inherit is child class, subclass, or new class. Okay, here you can see the example of inheritance. Whenever we, this is class member class is super class. The attributes of that class is integer member. Here is the data type long integer member ID, character photograph, character name, the size of name, first name, date is the data type for date of date. Okay, these are the attributes of that class. See that this is the one class. Okay, this is the super class. This is the example of class, how we are going to write the class. Here the access specifier is private and public. As you know about access specifier, wherever we are going to declare that attributes as a private, so we cannot access that member outside the class. Whenever we are going to give access specifier as a public, we are going to access that methods or that members outside the class. Okay, then next, see the example of inheritance. Whenever we are going to inherit that class, see here the class employee is inherited by from class member here. So you can write class employee, then semi double colon public member. Here member is your super class. Okay, so this is the publicly derived class from, this class employee is derived from super class member. Okay, so after that you can derive another class class faculty, which is derived from superclass. Okay, so this is the example of inheritance, how you can derive class, new class from old one. Okay, then next one is polymorphism. What is polymorphism? The dictionary meaning of polymorphism is means multiple forms or many forms. Okay, polymorphism means many forms. The form contains multiple attributes or multiple functions. What in the real world, the same operations may have different meanings in different situations. Okay, many form means multiple forms. Some messages, some messages sent to different objects irrespective of their class, but the responses of objects may be different. Okay, so polymorphism means we are going to use similar methods for similar methods for example, you can use, for example, you have to find the area of circle. So you can declare one method for area. For whenever we are going to call that method, you can calculate the area of circle, triangle. Okay, so you can use that one method for multiple purpose. That is, the ability to take more than one form means you can use a single method for multiple operations. That is polymorphism. Okay. Okay. Then see, the polymorphism is considered important concept of object oriented programming language, because you are going to use some arithmetic operators such as plus, equal to, minus to create some, or used to operate on primary data types such as integer, float. Okay. So we may overload these operators so that they may operate in the same way on objects like user defined data types. Okay. So polymorphism contains overloading and overriding concept. We will see these methods later on. Okay. So this one is enough for 2 days. Okay. So you can unmute yourself. Anybody is having any doubt?